Hi, my name is Simona Kovacev and I'm with GCTV to learn more about what it's like to have a locally owned business in Greenfield. With it being the holiday season, now is the perfect time for shopping. And in 2025, we find ourselves doing most of our holiday shopping with a phone in our hands or a computer on our laps. Whether it be gifts or decorations, a lot of us use online shopping as our default. But what about the businesses around us? The ones not on our screens, but in our neighborhoods. Through interviewing different local Greenfield residents during the merriest time of year, we can learn more about the struggles and the triumphs of locally owned businesses. Personally, I'm a firm believer that when Thanksgiving ends, the holiday season begins. That's why it felt fitting to go and visit Metacrest Stable's Christmas tree farm during its peak time of the year to learn more about what it's like to have a Christmas tree farm. I met with Derek Adams, who talked a little bit about the changes he's experienced since taking over his family's farm. Here is what he had to say.
My name's Derek Adams. This is a family farm. It started with my parents, Jim and Rita Adams, and they're both passed away now. And my sister, myself, and my wife are on the farm now.
In your opinion, what do you think is the hardest thing about having a Christmas tree farm?
It's a very long-term investment. From the time you put that seedling in the ground, really to get best case scenario to get a 6-foot tree, it's going to take 6 to 8 years. So during those 6 or 8 years, you're taking care of the ground, you're keeping the grass off it, you're keeping the weeds off it, because any piece of dirt anywhere, any farmer will tell you, Mother Nature wants it back. That means if you leave it alone and you don't maintain it, it'll just turn into just giant rose bushes and weeds taller than you. And the things, unfortunately, that grow best in bad weather, drought weather, are weeds. So they will just consume and swallow up the little trees and keep them from growing.
Have you had a lot of problems with weeds and...
Most of our problem is drought. Let's say you put a couple thousand seedlings in the ground. If you're not set up to irrigate, and we are not set up to irrigate, we lost 90% of what we put in the ground.
And are there any years in the past where it's been really hard with just the weather and the lack of rain?
I'm going to tell you the last 2 or 3. Prior to this spring, we're dry right after we planted. The year before last is when I said, well, like I said, we lost 90% of it. But in the year before that, we probably lost 50% of it.
Yeah.
And the funny part is, I know a lot of other farmers that aren't tree farmers, and you can go to the USDA and get some relief for that. And I called them up, and you have to put in a crop plan ahead of time. They'll only reimburse you for the trees, not the labor that you put into it, which is okay. It's still better than nothing. But I called them, and I would have had to have my crop plan established with them, which means crop plan basically just, they want to know your inventory, how many trees you have in the ground, how many seedlings you just planted, all that stuff.
Do you do it through like Massachusetts specifically, or is it a larger...
Nothing. We don't do anything with the government at all. We don't get no subsistence, no rebates, no nothing. Everything we do ourselves. That's not to say that programs like that aren't available. We used to be part of the Chamber of Commerce and things like that, and then Massachusetts Tree Growers Association and things like that, but we're not part of that anymore. I feel, and I'm no social media expert, getting yourself out there, and we're not the best at it by any means at all, on the social media side with the Facebook page and the things like that, is far more effective than being attached to any of those organizations.
So you feel as though social media has helped, like
Hugely.
Just in general?
Hugely.
What about it do you think has helped you out the most?
It brings in total strangers. Because a lot of tree farms, they start out pre-social media, you just think maybe things word of mouth and some advertising. And when it comes to any advertising, you're looking at cost versus benefit. Like we run 2 or 3 ads and not very big, and it's very expensive. And I do everything in tree math. I got to sell 15 trees just to pay for the ad. We're very fortunate to have some friends of friends that help us out here. All at this point 19-year-olds, and we have a group of 19-year-olds and a group of adults in their 50s.
Yeah.
Okay. And they work for very little money, but we give them home cooked food every day for lunch, and then all the snacks and whatever you can drink. Hot chocolate. We have hot chocolate, mulled cider.
Yeah.
We sell local products from our local farms, our family farms.
Yeah.
We carry all their milk products. All the honey you see behind us comes from my neighbor, who has his own hives.
Oh, okay.
All the syrup you see behind you comes from people up in Leiden.
Yeah.
So everything you see here for a food product is made locally.
And kind of going over it, I know that we kind of already talked about it a little bit, but especially with like the evolution, like what do you think is the biggest change that you've seen between when your father was working here and when you're working here now?
The biggest change?
Yeah.
The biggest change. I will tell you something that my parents were extremely resistant to. We used to only take cash or credit cards, or
Yeah.
cash or checks. Okay? They were resistant. They thought using a credit card was very impersonal. That whole thing, we have something called the Clover. We started using a couple of years ago. Increased business a ton. That's the biggest part of our business that has probably changed.
Yeah. And kind of just heading to a different direction. So during the rest of the year, when you're not in season, when it's not Christmas season, how do you guys support yourself as a business?
The boarding of the horses is the majority of it. If you're a horse owner and you don't have a place to keep your horse, you want a place to ride your horse or train your horse or do anything like that, you can bring it here, and for a fee, we take care of your horse for you. We only do a full board. That way we're in control of, how the barn is kept. But it also means if you were a horse owner and you decided you want to go on a walkabout and come back for a month or 2 months or 6 months, your horse is being taken care of. It's being taken care of well. So if you don't have a vet, we'll find you a vet. If you don't have a farrier, we'll find you a farrier. But that is really our only income in the summertime.
Off of that, what do you think is like the best part about, working at a Christmas tree barn?
I enjoy the people. Virtually everybody that comes out here is in a great mood, wanting to be in a great mood, and looking forward to getting the tree, and the kids are running around, and everybody's laughing and joking. And
Yeah.
you have whole families that come out here wearing all their Santa hats, their dog's wearing a Santa hat.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a ball. And this is a farm that's really nice to walk around. We keep it well groomed.
Yeah.
So that's really the best part. The majority of the customers are really fun to be around. They really are.
Shopping during the holiday season is tough, and with online shopping, a lot less people go out of their own homes to go and purchase gifts for their loved ones. We talked with Hannah from the Greenfield Business Association about shopping locally during the holiday season.
My name is Hannah Rekshoffen. I'm the Executive Director of the Greenfield Business Association. I work with businesses in Greenfield, around Greenfield, that are part of the Greenfield ecosystem. We do business development, business support, social media. Our goal is just to make sure that they feel like they have partnership and support in the work that they're doing.
And obviously, like right now is like the holiday season. It's like the
Yeah.
prime time for shopping. What do you think is the importance of shopping, especially at local businesses during the holidays?
Importance, I think, really can't be overstated, because when you shop locally, you're keeping money in the local economy. That money is going into a local business, but then it's going outward from there. I like to really think about it as an ecosystem. The more that you put into the ecosystem here, the more that it transfers out in a smaller ripple and really supports everyone right around us. And also think about the fact that local shopping can be really fun. It can be a process of discovering things. You're directly giving your money to a local maker, but you also are finding something fun. We have great antique and thrift stores here. You never know what you're gonna find if you take just a little longer at Sweet Phoenix and poke into corners. So I was on the way to work the other day, and Amazon has a new tagline on all of their delivery vans, and it said, "Let us save you a trip," which on the surface sounds good, and there are always times that we want something to come right to our home, right to our office. The more trips you save, the less places you're going to have to go in your community. So definitely save a trip when you need to save a trip, but don't save so many trips that you're not going to have somewhere to go out and explore.
Going off of online shopping, especially with the holidays, how do you think the new wave of online shopping has affected these local businesses?
It's been devastating in a lot of ways. And I think, we are always looking at how the marketplace is acting and reacting, right? So the more people make the choice to shop online, the harder it is for those dollars to stay local. It's not judging online shopping. It's not saying you can never ever shop online, you're the worst. It's just saying If we think about the experience that we could have shopping in person, connecting with a store owner, buying local products. I mean, if you're buying food locally, if you're eating locally, if you're shopping locally, again, that money is helping other local businesses. So you are really causing a ripple effect. We get to keep a lot of the character that we love about Greenfield or we love about Franklin County in the Valley. That stays vibrant because we chose to keep it vibrant.
Yeah. And just looking forward for the future, not just this holiday season, but all the other holiday seasons that will be after this. What is like your biggest hope for local businesses in Greenfield?
My biggest hope for local businesses in Greenfield is that they start to feel a little more seen and a little more visited by people in Greenfield and around Greenfield. A lot of people talk about businesses that used to be here. Things change, you know, it's tough, and this is not unique to Greenfield. We have seen so many shifts in commerce, in industry, and change is not a bad thing. What can be a bad thing, though, is forgetting to support the businesses that are here now. You know, when someone says to me, oh, downtown is so dead, there are no businesses here. There are so many things, and my hope is that businesses in Greenfield get more love from the community, really feel a little boost in self-esteem that what they are offering in their community is important, it's appreciated, people are excited about it. And I hope too that people in the community start to feel a little more drawn to that sense of discovery and adventure, you know. Yes, we have a lot of stores that sell secondhand or they sell thrift, vintage, upcycle. For me, that's really fun. I think people don't realize sometimes that people will travel a distance to go to a cool antique shop or a cool vintage shop because they're excited about seeing what's there, not knowing what they're going to find. I think in Greenfield, we undervalue that a little bit, and I hope that we all can kind of open ourselves up a little bit to feeling some of that, because that would really do a lot for our businesses in every season. I really encourage people to think about not only what things used to be like, but what they look like now and what they could look like, and get involved in that and get excited about that and pay attention to things that are happening. That's all.
Hi, I'm Marissa.
In Aunties.
China. Isili.
My name is Charlotte, like the spider or the city in North Carolina.
What's your favorite part about Greenfield during the holidays?
It's so festive, you know.
My favorite holiday memory in Greenfield is when one of my best friends had her twins shortly before the holiday season.
My first Christmas here when I first moved here, I was 8.
Yeah, that would be it, when she was 8.
Oh, what's my favorite part? Well, I think it's just the community affair in it that, you know, everybody likes to think that this place really kind of rolls up when it gets cold out, but really people are still out. They're still coming downtown and they're still saying hi to each other and just continuing that spirit even through the colder season.
What is, in your opinion, the best place to go holiday shopping in Greenfield?
To say you have to go to Rise Above because I work as baker there, so you have to like go buy cookies there for the holidays.
In your opinion?
My opinion will probably be the outlet store.
Oh, let's see. Well, I'm a real sucker for like antiques and found items, so I'm always drawn to like the Whitney Hills and the Sweet Phoenixes and just looking for something like weird and fun that just tickles that part in your brain. And will put a smile on the person's face who you give it to.
I think that the best place to go shopping in Greenfield would be Greenfield Games and Rise Above.
What is your favorite part about the holiday season?
Just being with family and friends and doing a lot of sleeping.
Getting time to knit socks on the couch.
Being with family, being with my children.
I think it's kind of just this willingness for everybody to get into the spirit and just kind of lean into celebrating the bright parts of our lives. The weather gets cold, it gets dark early, but yet everybody decks the halls and they put the lights out and just kind of, sits around with the hot chocolate with each other.
And what is your wish for Greenfield in the upcoming new year?
My wish for Greenfield in the upcoming new year is to develop more business in the downtown area, as well as to just continue the wonderful sense of community that exists.
Ethnicity change.
That more people come to Greenfield and walk around in Greenfield. This is a really sweet town.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Through interviews with local residents, we were able to learn more about local businesses in Greenfield. Through the years, local Greenfield businesses have learned to adapt to challenges while still keeping the Greenfield spirit alive. Truly, there is something for everyone here in Greenfield, but you'll only find it if you just decide to look for it. Thank you so much for watching, and to everyone, happy holidays. This is Simona with GCTV signing off.